Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone, waiting, hoping for her to reply? And yet, the silence stretches on. You feel ignored, and every second feels like a blow to your self-worth. Here's the hard truth. Chasing someone who's ignoring you can lead to disaster, not just in your relationship, but also in how you view yourself. But don't worry, this isn't a video about blaming yourself or others. This is about taking back your power, regaining your peace of mind, and understanding how ancient wisdom from Stoicism can guide you through moments like this. By the end of this video, you'll not only know the 6 most critical mistakes to avoid when she's ignoring you, but you'll also learn how to become emotionally resilient, confident, and composed no matter what happens. Let's dive in. The first mistake you need to avoid is something almost everyone does when they feel ignored. Mistake 1. Overreacting and letting emotions take over. When someone ignores us, it's easy to feel an emotional storm brewing inside. Anger, sadness, frustration. It's natural. But here's where most guys go wrong. They let those emotions dictate their actions. They send impulsive texts, call repeatedly, or even lash out. And in the process, they push her further away. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What does this mean in the context of relationships? It means you can't control how she responds, or if she replies at all, but you can control how you react to it. Instead of sending that desperate, "Why are you ignoring me?" text, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that her actions don't define your worth. Write down how you're feeling in a journal instead of acting on impulse. This not only helps you regain perspective, but also prevents you from making a mistake you'll regret later. Think about this. If you let your emotions control you, you're handing over your power to someone else. But if you stay calm and composed, you're showing that you value yourself enough not to let anyone else dictate your peace of mind. Which version of yourself would you rather be? Mistake 2. Seeking validation through excessive communication. Another common mistake is bombarding her with messages. When she doesn't respond, you think, maybe if I try harder, she'll notice me. So, you send another text, and another. Before you know it, you're caught in a cycle of chasing validation, just to feel like you matter to her. Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, taught the idea of the dichotomy of control. He said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." In this case, her attention, whether she chooses to respond, is not up to you. But how you handle yourself in this situation is entirely within your control. The next time you feel the urge to send a follow-up text, stop and ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly have something important to say, or am I seeking her validation? If it's the latter, resist the urge. Instead, shift your focus to something productive. Work on a hobby, hit the gym, or spend time with friends. By redirecting your energy, you're reinforcing the idea that your happiness doesn't depend on her attention. Imagine how it feels to be constantly chasing someone's approval. Doesn't it feel exhausting? Now picture the opposite, being so secure in yourself that you don't need that validation. You're not ignoring her, you're simply choosing to value your time and energy. That's what true confidence looks like. Mistake 3. Overanalyzing her silence. When she stops responding, your mind instantly goes into overdrive. Did I say something wrong? Is she talking to someone else? Does she even like me anymore? Overthinking like this can send you spiraling into self-doubt and insecurity, and that's the real problem. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In other words, most of the pain you feel isn't because of what's actually happening, It's because of the story you're telling yourself about what's happening. When you overanalyze her silence, you're creating a narrative that may not even be true. Instead of assuming the worst, focus on the facts. She hasn't responded. That's it. Don't attach meaning to it unless you have concrete evidence. If you're unsure, give her space and time instead of bombarding her with your assumptions. In the meantime, remind yourself of other areas in your life where you're thriving. This will keep your mind grounded in reality rather than spinning in circles. Think about how tiring it is to overanalyze every little detail. Now imagine freeing yourself from that mental chaos. When you stop overthinking, you reclaim your peace of mind, and that's far more powerful than any text she could send you. Mistake 4. Making her the center of your world. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is prioritizing her so much that they forget about themselves. Your hobbies, goals, friends, and even your sense of purpose take a back seat. And when she notices this, it can actually make you less attractive. Stoicism teaches us to ground ourselves in our own purpose, not in someone else's attention. As Marcus Aurelius said, do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. When you make her the center of your world, you're neglecting your own life's purpose, and that's not fair to you or her. Ask yourself, what areas of my life have I neglected because of her? Is it your fitness, your career, or your personal growth? Start focusing on those areas again. Create a daily routine that revolves around your goals and passions, not her replies. When you live with purpose, you naturally become more confident and self-assured, and ironically, this often makes you more attractive. Picture this. Do you want to be the guy who's waiting on someone else to give his life meaning? Or do you want to be the guy who's so focused on his own mission that others are inspired to be part of his journey? The choice is yours. Mistake 5. Playing games to get her attention. When she ignores you, it's tempting to play mind games to get a reaction. Maybe you ignore her back, post something on social media to make her jealous, or act like you don't care. But here's the problem. These games are rooted in insecurity, and they rarely end well. Stoicism emphasizes living with integrity and authenticity. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, seeking approval through manipulation only makes you weaker. True strength lies in being honest and true to yourself, even if it's not the easy path. Instead of playing games, be direct and authentic. If you feel the need to address the situation, do it calmly and respectfully. For example, you could say, "I've noticed we haven't talked much lately. Is everything okay?" This shows maturity and emotional intelligence, which are far more attractive than games. Ask yourself, do you want a connection built on manipulation or one built on honesty and mutual respect? Your actions should reflect the kind of relationship you want to create. Mistake 6. Losing sight of your own value. Perhaps the most critical mistake is forgetting your own worth. When someone ignores you, it's easy to start questioning yourself. Am I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? But this kind of thinking chips away at your self-esteem, and no one else can fix that for you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, a man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. If you tie your value to someone else's attention, you're handing over control of your self-esteem. A Stoic knows that true worth comes from within, not from anyone else's approval. When you feel ignored, take it as an opportunity to reconnect with yourself. Reflect on your strengths, your achievements, and what makes you unique. Write down a list of things you're proud of or grateful for. By doing this, you remind yourself that your value isn't dependent on anyone else's actions. Think about this. Would you want someone to value you only when you're giving them constant attention? Of course not. So why do that to yourself? When you recognize your own worth, you'll attract people who truly see and appreciate it too. Let's quickly recap the 6 critical mistakes to avoid when she's ignoring you. 1. Don't overreact or let your emotions take over. Stay grounded. 2. Stop seeking constant validation. True confidence comes from within. 3. Avoid overanalyzing her silence. Focus on facts, not assumptions. 4. Don't lose yourself by making her your sole priority. Invest in your own growth. 5. Stay authentic. Games and manipulation only hurt your character. 6. Most importantly, never lose sight of your own value. You are enough as you are. Each of these mistakes pulls you further from inner peace, but by practicing Stoic principles, you can transform how you respond to challenges and reclaim your emotional balance. If this video helped you, tap that like button. It really supports the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more on Stoicism, relationships, and self-growth. And now, let's hear from you. What's one Stoic principle you've used to navigate difficult situations? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to learn from your experience. Remember, your peace of mind is your greatest strength. Protect it, nurture it, and carry it with pride. See you in the next video.